How's everyone doing? Welcome. This is my first time here. My name's Tamer Dave Whitley, and I'm a performing strongman. What you're about to see is 100% real. I do not do any illusions. I don't do any sleight of hand or any trickery. Nothing that I do up here has been tampered with in any way, and you're welcome to come and check out any of it as we go along. For the younger folks, I always like to tell a story. And the story starts out like any good story. Once upon a time, there was this chubby little boy with this horrible, horrible stutter. It's not a very fun story so far, is it? The stutter was so bad, in fact, that he spent the majority of his time in school trying to figure out how to not get called on by the teacher. Because the teacher would call on him, he would answer, he would start to stutter, the other kids would laugh at him, and it made him feel terrible. He retreated into a world of science fiction, fantasy, and comic books, and became completely fascinated with the idea of superhuman powers, specifically superhuman strength. Well, spoiler alert, that kid grew up to be me. And now I can stand here before you fine people and make the bold claim that I am in fact superhuman. I possess superhuman strength. You see, along the way, I figured out that all of those negative emotions that I was experiencing, and even the stutter that I thought was causing them, were things that I had put there myself. And if I put them there, that means that I can break out of them. It's okay to clap. And so I took it upon myself to become as strong as I possibly could. And that led me to where I am now. Now, the old-time strongmen have a long tradition of live entertainment that dates back to the vaudeville era. This is my first time at a fair. Most of what I do is school shows and corporate events, motivational speaking, that sort of stuff. So I'm really excited to be here with you people at the Midway with sort of a throwback to the vaudeville era of the old-time strongmen, because back then there was no internet, there was no television, most houses didn't even have radios, and if they wanted to be entertained, they would have to go out and seek out live entertainment like you fine folks are doing tonight. Now, a classic feat of strength that the old-time strongmen would do is take one of these. It's a 60-penny nail. You can tell the end of it's pointy. It's a 1/4 inch in diameter, and it's 6 inches long. And I'm going to take these pieces of leather because I don't want this to happen to my hands. I'm going to wrap it up so that the point doesn't poke into my palm. Does anybody want to give it a try? Nobody? Got a lot of heads shaking. It's a 60-penny nail, and it takes approximately 250 to 300 pounds of force to bend. All that force has to be generated through the hands and the wrist. Now, before I do this, I'm going to tell you another quick thing about myself. I grew up going to a lot of concerts. And so I want to bring some of that into what I do every time I go on stage as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, "Who am I?" And as loud and as rowdy as you can, I want you to yell, "Iron Tamer." And if you can't remember it, it's right there on the sign. Okay? I want the people in the Midway to hear it, okay? Who am I? Iron Tamer. That's a pretty good practice run. Let's try another practice run. Test it out one more time. Who am I? Iron Tamer. All right, good. I want people in Franklin to hear you. Who am I? Excellent. Now, when you leave out of here and go back to the Midway and you get your funnel cake and you're in your car driving home, I don't want anybody to say, "Man, that big guy in the kilt was strong." I'm going to bend this nail for you now. And there it is. Another classic feat of strength that the old-time strongmen would do would be bending other objects that were a little bit larger. That was 1/4 inch by 6 inches. This is 3/8 by 10 inches. It's a lag bolt. I think they use them for putting like decks together and stuff. I'm going to see what I can do with this. Are you guys with me? Woo. Thank you. Give this man a hand. Yes. 3/8 by 10-inch bolt. See if I can do something cool with it here. Who am I? Tamer. It's a good start, yeah? What do we think? Bending is easy, right? What if you break it? Another classic feat of strength from back in the old days is leverage lifting with a sledgehammer. Now what I have here is a 12.5-pound sledgehammer. Now I learned this feat from a man named Slim the Hammerman Farman. Slim lives in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, which is also the home of Yuengling beer. And he is 83 years old and still one of the strongest men that I ever met in my life. Now, when he was telling me how this lift works, he told me that to calculate the amount of force needed to complete this lift, you multiply the weight of the hammer times the length of the handle in inches, and that gives you the amount of foot-pounds needed in order to complete the lift that I'm about to do. I want someone to come up here and check this out for me. Can I get a volunteer? Preferably a strong adult man or an average adult man. You might have to pick somebody. My man gave me a woo, so let him come on up here. What's your name?
Corey.
Say again?
Corey.
Corey. Give Corey a hand again. All right, Corey, here's what you're going to do. And I'll even let you have some chalk if you want it, because it is humid out here. You're going to hold on to that hammer right where the tape is on it, on the end. Let me show you. Let me show you.
Gotcha.
He's enthusiastic. I like that. Stand over here for me. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold on right here where the tape is. Now, people will try to cheat. They'll hold on up here, right? But then the end of the hammer runs into the ground and you're not going to be able to lift it up. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this 12.5-pound hammer. That's not very heavy, right?
No.
But who's good at math? 12.5 times 31 is how much? 387.5. Very good. 387.5 pounds of force needed to do what I'm about to ask you to do. And that is bring this hammer up to vertical, under control, take it back down almost to the floor, but not quite, back up to vertical, and then gently return it to the ground. You got that?
Vertical, don't touch, vertical.
Very good.
Ground.
Come on, Corey, give him a hand.
Like that?
Kinda.
All right. One hand or two?
One hand. All the way to vertical. Come on. Up, 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 up.
Restart.
You know what vertical means, right? Straight up and down. All right, let me set you up here. All right, come on, shake it off. You got this. You got this. Come on, Corey. Up to vertical. Up, 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 up.
Oh, can't be vertical.
Can't get vertical. Give him a hand. Thank you very much. Before you go, can you tell me what this is?
It's a 2.5-pound weight.
Okay, so it's got heft to it. It's real, right? Okay, go ahead and have a seat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 2.5-pound plate, I'm going to put it on this 12.5-pound hammer, and that's going to get us to how many pounds? 15, right? Yes? Did we all go to public school? 15 pounds on 31-inch handle comes out to be how much? 465 pounds. Very good. Is that right? Did I do that math right? No, I'm sorry, 365. I'm not good at math. I lift things. 365 pounds of force needed to do what I'm about to do right now. I'm going to do a slightly different variation. Who am I? How much weight did I say this was? Oh, and there it is. Thank you. Another amazing feat that I want to do for you right now is we're at an agricultural event, right? Do I have any equestrian horse people here? No? We're at the county fair and no one here handles horses. That's amazing to me. You do? What is this?
It's a horseshoe.
Is it real?
It
It is.
is.
100% metal. What I'm going to do, take the same wraps that I had earlier to protect my hands. Are we having a good time at the fair? The rides are kicking back up. As soon as I'm done, you guys can go eat a funnel cake and throw up all over the place. Yeah? No? I have no idea how much force it takes to do what I'm about to do. I don't even know how I begin to measure it. But I'm going to see if I can take this horseshoe and render it completely useless. Now, horseshoes are lucky, right? A guy that I studied named Earl Nightingale said that luck is when preparation meets opportunity, right? So I've prepared the horseshoe and I've got the opportunity. Can I be lucky right now? Not unless I decide to take some action. So what I'm going to do now is take a little action on this horseshoe. Are we ready? Who am I? We're off to a good start. And with enough action, we can make an S for strength. All right, I'm going to need a few volunteers this time. Let me get you guys back there. You want to help me out? I need 4 guys. And there are 4 of you, so come on up. Let me get 2 of you to stand right here. Let me get 2 of you to stand right over here. I'm going to put on a glove for this one. It's just like going to the doctor, right? What's your names?
Jackson.
Jackson?
Cam.
Cam?
Easton.
Easton?
Austin.
Austin? Easton Austin. I like that. That's easy to remember. I'm going to call all of you Bob. I won't remember anybody's name. Okay, Bob?
Sure.
You good, Bob? All right. What I have here is a couple of metal triangles. And you can see there's no way to hook those together. They just fit together, right?
Right.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to get Easton and Austin to hold on to that end. And I'm going to get Cam and Jackson to hold on to that end. Now, don't do anything until I tell you to. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to take the slack out of the rope when I tell you to. You guys are going to help. We're going to give a 3, 2, 1 countdown. 3, 2, 1 countdown. They're going to start pulling tug-of-war style. The only thing that I'm asking you not to do is yank on it. Because if you yank and they don't, this will fly out of my hand. It'll hit him in the face. He'll get stitches and we'll be on TV for the wrong reasons. Okay? If you want to give him stitches, do that after I'm done. Okay? You guys will then initiate a countdown from 10, 9, 8, all the way down to 1. When they get to 1, I'm going to say ease up. You guys will ease off. And then hopefully everything will go well. Do we understand? So, countdown. Take the slack out of it. Good. We good? All right, I'm going to hold on right here. We ready? Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. Now count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ease off, ease off. Give these guys a hand. Thank you all very much. So you can see that being an old-time strongman has a lot to do with grip strength. It has a lot to do with being able to hold on really tightly. One of my strongman colleagues is actually nicknamed the human vice. Like you would put vice, put metal in a vice. Another really, really important use of grip strength is the next feat that I'm about to do. I need another volunteer. Who wants to come help me? Anybody? Can I get somebody to come help me? All right, you guys talk her into it. I'm going to come back to her. I'm going to come back to her. You just be getting yourself geared up, okay? Have you guys ever seen an old-time strongman blow up a hot water bottle? You know what I'm talking about? The hot water bottle? Yeah, I'm not going to do that, but I am going to blow up a balloon. Suspenseful, I know. And what I'm going to do with this balloon is I'm going to pop it. But I'm going to pop it underneath this board. And I'm going to do it by taking this nail, putting it in this rag, and driving it through with my hand to pop the balloon. Now, the very first time I ever saw this feat done in my life, my mentor, my teacher, my friend, a guy named Dennis Rogers, showed me a video of him doing it. He had done it thousands of times, and he had a board and a frying pan. He came around to hit. There was an equipment malfunction on his cloth, and instead of the nail going through the board and popping the balloon, the head of the nail got embedded in his hand. He caught it all on video. He also caught the subsequent trip to the emergency room and extraction of said nail on video. This was the first time I had ever seen the feat done. Done by the guy who was teaching me how to do it. So for a long time, I had a mental block on this feat. I would come up, I would go to hit it, and I could feel myself slowing down and getting scared and backing away from it. I actually had to go and work with Dennis in person, and in about 15 minutes, he talked me into being able to do this feat. And now I do it in every show. But I'll be honest with you, still scares me a little bit, because when I come around between here and there, there's just enough time for that image to flash in my mind of Dennis's feet going horribly wrong, even though I've literally never hurt myself doing this. So, if all goes well, we'll pop the balloon. Are you with me? Okay. And you're up next. Oh, you're up next. Okay, are we ready? Still freaking me out a little bit. Still freaking me. I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to come back to it. Let me get my lovely assistant to come on up. Stand right here for me. What's your name?
Reagan.
Reagan?
Yes.
Everybody give Reagan a hand. What's that? Take it. Go ahead and open it up for me. It's sealed in plastic, so it may take you a minute. I leave them sealed in plastic so that everyone, here. You got it? Here, let's take this sharp and pointy nail that I don't want to stick through my hand and just go ahead and rip the plastic on it a little bit. There. Maybe that'll help you. There you go. Finish that off for me. I leave the plastic on so that everyone knows that what I'm doing is authentic. Let me see that. Let's just throw that right over there. Go ahead and take them out of the deck. Now she's got to get through the sticker that keeps it sealed shut. That's fine. That's fine. You're basically a junior version of Lady Houdini, right? Did you guys see Lady Houdini? She's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I love her act. All right, so let's go ahead and pull all those cards out, every last one of them. Let me show you a pro tip right here. Yeah, just turn it upside down and hold your hands out. There we go. Get that gravity assist. All right, so that's all of them, right? All right, so can you just make sure those are real, right? Okay. Now here's what I want you to do. Now I said earlier that the old-time strongmen in the vaudeville era did live entertainment, just like we're doing tonight. In the vaudeville days, they would be on stage and they would share the stage with all manner of other entertainers. Singers, dancers, animal trainers, comedians, and of course, magicians. Now, I told you at the very beginning, everything that you see me do is real. I don't have any illusions. I don't have any sleight of hand. I don't have any trickery. This is the closest thing to a card trick that I have. I want you to pick a card, any card. You're going to show it to me, you're going to show it to them, and you're going to look at it yourself. What do we got? 5 of diamonds. You guys remember that? Put it back in the deck anywhere you want. Give her a little shuffle if you feel like it. And whenever you're ready, hand that deck back to me. Excellent. So there's no way I can know where your card is, right? Except that it's in the deck. So what I'm going to do sounds impossible. I'm going to rip your card in half without taking it out of the deck. So watch really closely right there. Did I get it? Hold on to that for me. Now, 5 of diamonds, right? So now I've got the 2.5 of diamonds. More math. Just for kicks, just to make sure that I got him, let's see if we can take this one and cut it into quarters. All right? Hopefully this goes well too. What's a half of a half? What's a half of a half of a half? This is a lot harder. We're almost there. It slipped out. You know what? I'm done with that one because I'd have to put that back and start all over again. So thank you. Give her a hand. Just lay him down over there somewhere. And just because I felt bad about that one, because I didn't get the 8th, it slipped out of my hand, I'm going to get a little chalk because it is humid out here. I didn't factor that in. And I'm going to take this deck and I'm going to do something extra cool with it, okay? So a moment ago, I ripped it in half this way and then ripped that half this way, right? I'm going to do something that's a little more difficult. You guys watch right here. Just going to put a little tear in it right there, okay? I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing. So now I've got it torn in 2 places. See that? Make sure the camera can see. I'm going to go back to where I started. I'm going to reach in. And I'm going to pull a notch out of it. Thank you. Who am I? All right. Where'd my balloon go? My balloon is leaking. That balloon's no good anymore. Let me get a fresh one. Oh, we having fun? Have you ever seen anything like this before in person? I'm here tomorrow night at 7:30. I am here Saturday for 4 shows. 11:30, 1:30, 4:30, and 7:30. I'd love to see you all come back again and bring a half a dozen people with you. Are we ready? Still not there. Still not quite there. Let me do something else. Where's my balloon boy? You make sure that that balloon doesn't run away, okay? You keep an eye on it. I'm going to tell you guys another story. It'll be a little quick story, but this goes along with the motivational speaking, school performance stuff aspect, corporate performance stuff that I do. I didn't tell you guys about the baby elephant, did I? Okay. In India, when they take a baby elephant and they train him to become a work animal, they get him really young, and they'll take a piece of chain, and they'll put it around his leg, they'll tie him off to a tree. Now the baby elephant does not like this. He pulls against the chain digs into the flesh. He very quickly learns that any attempt to escape equals pain and ultimately failure because he can't break free. This works so well that when the animal's fully grown, the trainer can take the same kind of chain, put it around his leg, drive a stake in the ground with a hammer, walk off, the elephant will just stand there. The idea of walking away doesn't even enter into his mind because from a very young age he's learned that when the chain goes on my leg, any attempt to go anywhere else equals pain and then failure anyway, so why bother? Well, how much are we like that elephant? I know my circumstances were like that. Now, we're born with all of this possibility, all this potential, and all of this promise. And at a very, very young age, we get our very first limitation put on us, and it comes in the form of the word no. And it comes usually from people who have our best interest in mind, people who are looking out for us. I, for one, am very glad that my mother told me no when I announced one day that I was going to climb on top of the house and jump off and teach myself how to fly because I want superpowers. She told me no, and I'm glad. But along with those things that are for our own good, we get other things that aren't so good, like we don't have the money for that, and maybe we're just not smart enough for that, and well, knowing my luck, it'll fall apart anyway. And this starts to become the way we talk to ourselves. Now, I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand, but how many of us have ever said something to ourselves that was just truly, truly mean and vicious? I know I have. We will say things to ourselves that we would never dream of looking another person in the eye and saying. Things like, I'm such an idiot, and there's no way I'll ever be able to do that, and why even bother, because I'm just going to fail anyway. And it starts to crush the life out of us. But unlike that elephant, we can make the conscious decision to call upon a power that is thousands of times greater than any limitation we've put on ourselves. And we can break free. Thank you. Now, having said that, I got one more feat for you. You guys have been wonderful. I have a few things up here for sale. If you guys want to stick around afterwards, you want to get a photo, any of that kind of stuff. If you want to come back and see me tomorrow and Saturday, I'd love to see you guys again. Let's see what we can do with this balloon. Who am I? I am Tamer. Thank you. Thank you very much.